So we're just going to invite our final speaker up, which is Tamara McMillen. I've actually shared the stage with her previously, and I've kind of experienced the force that she is. So she's an experienced CRO, board advisor, and leadership coach. She's held many executive roles at startups, at scale-ups, and FTSE 100 companies, including companies like Virgin Media, Verizon, and Hitachi Data. She most recently was CRO for Open Corporates and is a board advisor to CRO Connected. She's passionate about leadership, growing businesses, supporting and advocating diversity and inclusion.
Thank you so much for having me here. And I just applaud everyone who's attending today and investing a little bit of time in yourself. I'm going to speak with you a little bit about brand. And this time it's going to be personal. And thank you, James, for asking me to share. Certainly not an expert, but I'm really happy to share my thoughts with you today and to encourage you to build yours. So what is a personal brand? Jeff Bezos said that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. A brand evokes an emotional response. So our personal brand is our reputation. It's a calling card. It's a combination of the skills and the values that represent and define you and promotes what you stand for as an individual. It's how we present ourselves to the world. And whether we intentionally have crafted one or not, we all have one. So over the next few minutes, we'll talk about a little bit more about what is a personal brand. We'll look at an example. Why is it important? What keeps us from building one? And how should we go about doing it? So let's look at this example here. I hope you recognize this person. It's Michael Jordan, the jump man you'll see on many an Air Jordan pair of shoes. But what is Michael Jordan known for? Charisma, superior skills, a determination to win. He won 6 championships. He influenced the globalization of the sport of basketball and even the commercializing of the sport. He stands for honor, excellence, and courage. He's inspirational. There's a clear idea that comes to mind when people hear his name or see the number 23. But he wasn't always the Michael Jordan that we know. He built his brand through his excellence and initially really as an individual. And when he shifted to building not just his brand, but that of his team, his brand became legendary. So why should we build a brand? It's not just about being famous. In fact, it's about so much more. It's also not about making money, which is nothing wrong with either of those things. But when we build our brand, we have the opportunity to make a difference. This is Lizzo. For those of you who don't know, she is her brand is all about body positivity. Everybody is beautiful. Black is beautiful. She said when she was a girl, she really wished she could see someone like her in media. But she knew that she was probably going to have to be the one to do it. We have that opportunity to be a representative. We also can share a fresh perspective. Many times we think that we're not bringing anything new to the party. People have already done what I'm doing, but they've never done it the way you've done it. You have a unique spin and history with the things that you've accomplished and achieved and the convictions that you have. Building your personal brand is an opportunity to elevate that and share it. Also, a great reason, ladies, is to help close the gender pay gap. Siobhan spoke about how shy we can be about promoting ourselves in the workplace, but do you know that the average woman will miss out on over $800,000 by the time she is 60 years old for failure for not negotiating on her own behalf or promoting herself? It's already tough enough to even the playing field financially, so building our personal brand is an opportunity for us to check out what we're worth. Now, what stops us? Modesty socially is one thing that has stopped us. It hasn't really been acceptable for us women to have bragging rights. I'm going to touch on 3 other things, though, here. One is a lack of self-belief, and we've heard a bit about that today. We have to believe in ourselves, and I want everyone here to remember that wherever you are today, someone believed in you, and that's why you have this job, and you deliver. So we have to believe what they've said, and we have to believe in ourselves. We also like to use the word we a lot. It was a team effort. We did this together. But the truth is, You probably led that effort. You uniquely brought something to the party. We need to get comfortable with I. And another reason is we don't know how. Not really sure where to begin. I'm going to try and give you a few suggestions on that as we continue. Now, this is a quote that I like. It's a Chinese proverb. It's also something that was said by Maya Angelou. A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. For me, this is all about authenticity. Building your brand is not about just posting stuff. It's about being true to who you are so that you can speak with confidence. When we focus on our experience, our knowledge, our passions, we can talk confidently, and then it doesn't feel so difficult to share. When we self-promote, it does build our brand, and it helps control the narrative so that we know that when we're not in the room, the kinds of things that we think people might be saying about us. There are different ways that we can promote ourselves. We can do it offline or online. I'm going to use the example of LinkedIn now to give you some easy suggestions, I hope, about how you can help promote yourself and build your brand. So let's take a look at my profile. What I want us to think about is leveraging our LinkedIn profile. When we think about our sub-brand, what are the roles that you're capable of doing? Not just the job title that you have today, but really the responsibility that you can carry. What are your passions and your values? Where are the places that you like to engage? This talks about section. That's a really important thing to populate if you haven't done that. You turn your creator mode on and you can put those in there. And when these hashtags trend and they're searched, people will find you. What opportunities would you consider and are you open to? Now, I am looking for my next job, but I always have mine open to work because we should always entertain conversations, I think, about people who might be interested in working with us. The analytics, this will be interesting for you to watch as you begin to promote yourself more and see what's resonating and sticking. And on the topics, some of these will be the same as the things that you talk about, and some will be different. But these become the inclusions in any posts you make or comments that you make. You add these things in, and this is how we start identifying and associating our brand with things that we care about. And we want to update them because we change over time. And the things that we're talking about today may be different tomorrow. So we want to keep it relevant and fresh. And the featured section is anytime we have the opportunity to engage in talks like this and they get recorded, or we've contributed to an article or written one ourselves, we absolutely should put them there. These things can speak about us to people when they want to get a greater sense of who we are and the kinds of things that we're engaged in. So I encourage you to use your LinkedIn profile. A couple of other examples. So posting and sharing. I talked about those hashtags. There's just two examples here of some posts. The one on the left, this is something a little bit more on the personal side of me that someone shared, and I really liked it. So I went ahead and shared it, which is about elevating others. And it also connected me in a way of things that I care about. On the right, a friend of mine, Roderick, he is an expert in sales enablement, which is a key component of being a CRO. I have loads of respect for him. He's launching a podcast channel on Spotify that's going to bring together all the many talks he's done. So I can elevate him, I can share and connect to those things and connect those topics as well to my personal brand. And this doesn't take a lot of work. The work's already really been done for us. We just have to take the time to do it. We can also build our brand by saying yes. And this is something that I encourage everyone to do. We get asked to do things like speaking today or participating on a panel. I promise you it's not as easy as it might look to say yes, but I have made it a habit of mine to say yes, particularly when I'm afraid, because that is another way that I can build my brand. I can bring my experience. We do have things to contribute, and we're not the only one that's going to be speaking about ourselves. Sales confidence, James is posting about it. Others who are interested in this topic are going to be posting about it, and they'll help build your brand too. And this is what I call expanding our audience through this multiplier effect. So I have a few thousand followers, but the organizations that often are sponsoring events that I participate in have tens of thousands of followers. These are opportunities for impressions. And this is, again, another way that's a pretty easy way for our brand to get greater exposure. The result is that your brand has impact and reach. Most people care about a lot more than just their career. There's lots of things that we care about, and people are interested in knowing the whole of you, not just the professional side of you. This shows some statistics over the last year. These 2 posts had the most impressions, and I was just curious what they would be. The middle one's professional. It's when I got my job at Open Corporates, and I posted about it. Only a few hundred impressions behind is the personal one on the right. This was about my son. He suffered illness for several years and had a lot of disruption with school. But after all of that, he actually got into the university of his choice, and he was going to start really pursuing his dream. And that was something I wanted to share because I care about mental illness and long-term physical ailments and how those affect people, particularly when it comes to their dreams. People were almost equally interested in both of those things. For me, that makes it easier to build my brand because I feel I can talk about things that I'm good at, that I'm proud of, and that I care about. So this is a long list of lots of ways that you can essentially promote yourself and others and make connections and engage in conversations. Networking, really spend time outside of your day job. It's not only validating to the things you know, it gives you a chance to give back and share with others. Build your LinkedIn network. Share, post things, tag other people in. If you see something and it looks interesting, even if it doesn't directly relate to you, but someone else would be really interested, tag them into the comments, bring them into the conversation. We want to contribute and we want to connect people. We can be bridge builders. And then when you do create content, make it memorable and authentic and include a picture because the algorithms do like it. So I'm going to leave you with having you ask that question. What is your personal brand and what do you want it to be? When you leave the room and you're not present, what do you want people to say about you? And that's what I have to share with you today.